Manual mode, no presets allowed. Candid frames break through the crowd. Light chasers, night gazers, exposure brilliant. Photography, the art of battle and resilience. Film or digital, doesn't matter the tool. Photography style, making pixels rule. Dynamic range, capturing soul in sequence. Glow truck clicks, beyond earthly pretense. Photography, freeze moments in flight. Pixel levels, aiming for the sight. Flash pop, shutter drop, world in a blink. Memories inked in digital ink.
What's good, guys? This is Vahography. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. What's going on? Welcome to Bokehs episode number 10. Live stream. Hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome, everybody. Today's going to be a fun one. I'm going to respond to a lot of the comments I got from yesterday's DSLR video. Today, we're talking about DSLRs in 2025. Is the DSLR dead? I got some interesting comments from a lot of you, and I'm going to read them all. I'm going to respond to them. I didn't get a chance to respond to any yesterday, and we're going to do that today. I'm going to also put the link, man. If you want to join the conversation, if you got a means to stream, you got an iPhone there, or you got your camera set up, you're welcome to join me. It's an open chat today, open forum. Anybody could join with the link that I'm about to share right now. Also, you can stream this on the YouTube Music app. This is live and it's a podcast. So we'll Bokehs Podcast. Just search Vahography on the YouTube Music app. You could turn off your screen, listen to it while driving, and also you can watch this on YouTube. So let me go ahead and do that first. Let me go ahead and share the link. Anybody could join me, like I said. Let's see. There it is. That's the link. If you use this stream site before, it's pretty easy. Of course, I'm going to see who it is. If it's some weird, hack, whatever bot, I'm not going to put it live. If I know who you are, and even if I don't know who you are, if I see that it's a viable, person on the other end of that link, you will be live with me on screen. I'm not going to edit anything, so whatever you say goes. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Albert, right off the bat, what's going on, Albert? Good to have you here. The video autofocus and wildlife content is getting boring. Therefore, it's time for one of the three major companies to step up and either manufacture medium format or monochrome and film cameras. Oh, interesting perspective, Albert. It's all fun, Of course, if you're in another genre, portrait photography, weddings, whatever, you want to see content in your genre, But hey, you know what? Everybody has their own dislikes and likes. Glad you're talking about DSLRs because things are getting boring. Man, I want to know your thoughts. Is DSLR dead in 2025? All the manufacturers, it's the mirrorless movement. So, but there's a lot of photographers that are still using DSLRs, including me. And I got a pretty cool response from yesterday's video about Nikon D5, D6 discontinuing. And people feel really strongly about a new DSLR still using their DSLR, and it's pretty interesting. Let's see. Let's see. Jimbo in the chat. What's up, Jimbot? You're a bot? I'd like to have you join. Click on the link. Hi, Jim. How's it going? Of course, nice thumbnail. Peter, MMN. Welcome back to the live scene. What's up, Peter? Thank you for joining me, brother. I have the D5, and I actually love it more than 9. You know what? Interesting comment I got yesterday regarding these two cameras. And somebody said something very interesting. I'm going to read them. We're going to start reading them. I'm going to start showing you the comments. I haven't responded to any. There's like 60 of them. but we'll get through them pretty quickly there. And I just want to respond to them live on camera, and we'll be doing this more often than not. Very interesting comments I got, guys. I love the DSLR. I love using the DSLR. It makes me feel like, a lot of the comments, and I'm gonna respond to them. So let's see. Nothing has changed as far as DSLR and mirrorless cameras function. The only thing nice about mirrorless is the eye detection, so you can compose the picture without the few points. There's a lot more than that, Jimbo. There's a lot more than that. But great point. And again, what works for you might not work for me. And at the end of the day, we're taking pictures. It's a file. At the end of the day, it's a file. So how you get that file, it's different for everybody. Z Wade Photo in the chat. What's going on, Z Wade Photo? Greetings. Happy to have all of you here. Z Wade, 35 millimeter 1.2 video. He just put out. Great. Great artistic lens, man. I love that lens. Great video. And that's a keeper, right? I know you didn't like the 35-8Z, but what do you think about the 35-1.2Z? And is that a keeper for you? Again, guys, if you're joining me a little late, here's the link once again. You can join me anytime. There it is, guys. Better dynamic range is nice to getting more. Yeah, I mean, like I said, what works for you might not work for me. I think all cameras these days perform very well, mirrorless or DSLR. The new mirrorless, pixels, speed, frames per second, all these like pre-capture stuff, and the new mount, and all this, fun video features. Are you really using them? The one and only Nicole. Welcome to Vahography Live. DSLR makes you feel like a natural woman. What? All right. Care to explain what you mean by that? That's an interesting comment from the one and only Nicole. Wow, we have a female in the chat. This is a, very rarity for Focus Bokehs. Welcome, Nicole. Again, guys, here is the link. If you want to join me in the conversation, we can. This is an open chat, open forum today, so we're going to have some fun. If you don't have it, you just adjust. If you don't have it, you just adjust. Yeah, true. Z-Wade says, oh, yeah, pry from my cold dead fingers keeper. Well, he really likes that 35-1.2. It's a great price too, guys. It's a price you're gonna pay for that lens. It's the top of the line 35 Nikon offers right now, and the 1.2 line is great. The 85-1.2, the 50-1.2, and the 35-1.2. The 50 and 35 look very, very similar. Can't tell them apart when you put them side by side. Actually, the 50-1.2 has a screen, right? The little display, which I like. I don't know why Nikon stopped using that. The one thing that I really like with these lenses, they kind of stop. By the way, guys, how's the internet? Like, am I getting chopped up? And how's the audio quality? Let me know the feedback in the comments. So I'm going to go ahead, since no one's wanting to join, I'm going to go ahead and start reading off the comments from yesterday's video. And I want to get to them. I want to read some. So let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and do this 1 second. Where is that video? View your channel. There is my channel. The video is here. The video is here. Let's mute that for a second. That ad pass. We have to pay the bills. The chump change that YouTube sends us. Right, Z-Way? All right, so let's see here. Where are we today? Oh, by the way, yeah, good point, Jimbo. We'll touch on this too right now. That adapter that you can use on mirrorless Nikon cameras, this Sony. I heard that the adapter with Sony lenses is amazing and it works well. So our Nikon shooter is going to get the 50 to 151. It's not a 1.2, it's an f2. If it was a 1.2, imagine it would be huge, but it's an f2, still awesome. And I saw quite a bit of reviews online. Let's see, Omar Gonzalez Photography went to a beautiful location in New York and a beautiful park in New York, and a lot of reviews. Jared Pollan had a great review on that lens, and Sony hit it out of the park with the 5150. Manny had good things to say about it. A lot of people love this lens. Try said that this can replace her primes. Is that going a little too far there? Let's see. Hey V, good to see you today. Peace, love, and rock and roll always from London. Awesome. Yeah. Rock and roll. Thank you for joining me, Joshua from London. Everybody say hi to Joshua from London. The dynamic range for cameras hasn't really changed that much for photography. Yeah, I mean, look, I look at overall picture quality. If I like the picture quality, I like to get it right in camera as much as possible. And I mean, that dynamic range has been great for me, even in the older DSLRs. Got a steal of a deal from the Nikon 7200 28 FL for $700. Wow, never seen that before. An FL, that third generation, latest, 7200. Wow, that's a steal, Peter. Wow, man, there's good deals to be had out there. There's really good deals to be had. That's a shocker. That's a shocker. The my version is going for about 600-700 right now. Good deal. You did good, Peter. I still use my D700, D3, and I will be getting my D3X soon. Yeah, King Crook. Let me know how that works out for you. D3, D700, D3, and great cameras, of course. And yeah, man. You know, anybody that thinks DSLRs are dead today, what are they smoking? You know, what are they smoking? There's a lot of things I'm going to cover in the comments that I don't want to say now because it's just going to end up repeating itself. So, let's go ahead and let me go ahead and just start the comment section real quick, and give me 1 second. Go ahead and start the comment section preset, share screen. Okay, there we go. There's my screen, guys, and there's the comment section. Give me 1 second. 1 second, guys. Yeah, and let's see here. Give me 1 second. All right. 68 comments. I'll get to them as soon as I can, as fast as I can. Premium EDJ Junior. I don't know what is going on, but when let's see, can I zoom in here and does it reflect what you see? I don't know what is going on, but what I do know is that DSLR raw files, at least in the Nikon system, are way better than the mirrorless counterparts. Those who have entered directly into mirrorless world probably won't agree with this, but those like me who have evolved from film days to mirrorless surely will. Premium ED Junior. Yeah, I mean, those who haven't used DSLR, and he has a point here, those who haven't used DSLR don't know what I'm talking about. Those that have jumped to mirrorless, started photography, you know, don't know what we're really talking about. And as far as comment on the raw files being better, I don't know. That's to be argued. The D3X comparison I did with the Z9 really just showed a real contrast to that. So, but great take on that comment. I really, it's something to think about, Junior. So great take on that. People that shoot DSLRs have a much better understanding of reading light because you have to if you want to get the exposure right. Good point. Good point. I mean, you do get you get what you see on the viewfinder with the mirrorless, so your job is easy, and you do have to kind of know something, have to know what you're doing with the DSLR if you want to get it right. Of course, you can cheat and look at your results on the screen. It's not exactly like film. Amar, what's going on, brother? Stop buying old flappy mirrors. LOL. They suck. They are dead. Blah, 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 blah. And the story continues. What's going on, Amar? Good to see you here. Stop buying old flappy mirrors. Olani, what's going on, Olani? I'm yet to make the switch. I am still using my D750 as a wedding photographer until I can save up for mirrorless camera. DSLR will be my go-to with love from Nigeria. Welcome, Mr. Onabanjo. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of us that still use the DSLRs and people online that say they're obsolete. Well, what are you going to say to Mr. Onabanjo here that still uses it for his wedding and photography and makes money? It's like the people today that haven't played a Nintendo on a CRT have no idea what you're missing versus the new flat screens. Yeah, I got rid of my CRT a long time ago, but man, Nintendo, the Super NES and 64. I had the original Nintendo, man, when I was a kid. That was fun. Ban him. Ban who? Who ban? Ban who? Amar? Nah. Jimmo, playing Duck Hunt on the CRT was pretty fun. Super Mario Duck Hunt. I got that combo. That was pretty fun. I'm trying to keep the cost of DSLR is down. I'm trying to keep the cost of DSLRs down so I can buy them. You guys keep making more videos after my video, raising the price of them. What the heck is going on? What really inspired me to this, I read the Nikon rumors post about the D6, and it kind of got me sad that it's coming. The end of the DSLR buying is coming. You could still buy a Nikon D6 and on B&H, it's still available, but that some stores in Japan being discontinued. Man, you get what you can take right now. There's no D6 on my local market for sale. There's a couple of D5s. You get what you pay for. I mean, if you could get one, the lower the clicks, the better the condition, the higher the price. It's like a Mercedes, guys. It's like one of these expensive European cars that are out of warranty. Okay, that are out of warranty. What I mean by that is, sorry. What I mean by that is, they're great. They cost a lot of money when they're new, but then when they're out of warranty, the price drops. That's why when you have a lot of clicks on these expensive cameras, the price drops. So you can get one for 100 clicks, 1,000 clicks that cost way different than what it costs a camera that has 100, 200,000 clicks. So it's night and day price difference used. So you pronounced my name so correctly. Thank you. Onabanjo, Olania, Onabanjo. You're welcome, brother. And thank you for being here from Nigeria. Amar in the hizzy. Man, I'm not going to get to some of these comments. A lot of comments coming through here. I need to get a D6 too. I almost forgot. Man, it's going to be a lot right now, especially because of the news. But yeah, I'm looking for one. If I can get one pretty low miles on it, I'll get it. But I don't want to pay $4,000 or $5,000. That's the thing. You know what I mean? R says, anyone want to dump their D6 because the Z9 surely blows it away in every way? Message me. I'll buy one, just keep it on the shelf as one of the best cameras that were made by Nikon. So what do you think of my D5? It's almost the same camera. What is your take on my D5 then? Do you feel the same way on the D5, Amar? I don't know about blows it away. I mean, like I said, it's The Z9 is a different tool. It could do things that the DSLRs can't. But I champion DSLR, so it's kind of like, okay, I'm getting pulled on each arm here. I don't know which side to be swaying on. Man, it's looking like tornado weather out here in Kansas, y'all. I'm about to ride one like, yeah. Wow, but stay safe out there, Z-Way. Stay safe out there. Don't go out chasing that tornado there. Don't go out chasing that tornado. At least with the old lenses, you can also use them for the self-defense. Yeah, exactly. We're no in Kansas anymore, Z Wade. We're not in Kansas anymore, Z Wade. Z9 is the truth. That's a great camera. D50s are very nice. Yes, they are. 5 is too old, like you, bro. I need the grand finale. Ah, man, shut up. I'm not too old. Speak for yourself, brother. I feel like I'm 30 years old. I feel like I'm 20 years old, bro. Give me a Starbucks coffee in the morning. I like to drink it freshly brewed. I don't want all these fancy latte, mate, cappuccino, mappuccinos. Just give me freshly brewed Starbucks coffee, 1 raw sugar, 1 half and half. I'm good. And that's all I need. That's the only coffee I drink. I don't like any other coffees. Starbucks freshly made coffee. So let's see. I love my glass, but my Z lenses are level above. Yeah, again, the Z lenses, they're sharp. They're clinically sharp, corner to corner. They're fast. They're silent. They're amazing. Some lack character. I mean, you want character, you're gonna have to go with these old RF mount lenses. We have the best of both worlds. Yes, yeah, and yes. Go get us a photos. Z-Wade's gonna take a Z9 into the tornado to see, and the Z9 survive. I'm so old, I'm ready to put a mirror inside my iPhone because I want to turn it into DSLR. Funny guy today. Please like this podcast as you join. 2 likes so far is not doing justice to the value we are getting here. Thank you, brother. And I appreciate you, man. You always say nice things to me, man. You always say nice things to me. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Sold my Z6 and Z5 as neither one, in my opinion, could focus as reliably as any other of my DSLRs. Really? Yeah, no, that's true. Of course, the DSLR is going to kick its ass. I'm on my D3X currently, and I'm thinking about a Z5 too. If it did, it would be my first brand new Nikon since the FM2. Yeah. When I was reading your comment, I thought you were saying D65, and I was like, wait a minute. Those DSLRs focus beautifully. What is he saying? But then I saw the Z. Sorry. Yeah. No, the kick its ass. I mean, these DSLRs they just nail focus. Even in low light. They don't need a lot of light to focus. It's crazy how good they work, man, these DSLRs. No one talks about it anymore. RF are nice, but I prefer EF. Yeah, RF are nice. Well, you want to talk about Canon? Amar's in the chat. He's an expert at Canon stuff. I think all the mirrorless people are waiting to do the like till the end because they're like in shock that you're talking about this. No, why? Talk about both, guys. I'm about to upgrade my kit. About to get brand new Nikon. I'm trying to keep up to date, guys. I don't get any help from any camera company, and whatever I buy, it comes out of my pocket. And YouTube, we don't make nothing here, so it comes out of my pocket. So that's why I'm kind of late to adapt to cameras. But the Z6 III will be, Amar. Yes, I know you're in shock, but the Z6 III will be in my possession very soon, and I can't wait. Quick, someone loan me a D6. I'm gonna hit 4K 30 and throw it in this. You know what, Z-Wade? You're gonna have a great time using that D6. I'm telling you, you're gonna have a great time using it. I think the D6 is made for you, bro. You'll love it. DSLR for focusing even in low light. Yeah, no, true. The D6 is the best Nikon for wildlife if you prefer the OVF or D500. Jonathan PH. Yeah, D6 is great. I mean, yeah, I mean, the only downside to this camera is that you don't get edge to edge focus points. You know what I mean? Like, but you can still do the tracking. It takes some getting used to if you're going from mirrorless to DSLR. Yes, I said it. If you're going from mirrorless to DSLR, it takes some getting used to again. You know, you need to readjust to what's going on here. I just put my 1DX Mark III today into a mirrorless camera. Yeah, you just flip it to live view. Right, bro? Just flip to live view, bro. Amar, I know you have means to stream. Just click the link. It's easier to just talk it out. Let's duke it out, bro. Come on, man. Let's duke it out. An Armenian versus an Indian. Let's go, baby. Oh, let's see. Man. James Cookson, how are you, man? I literally got a D5 and a D3X because of your channel. Both cameras have insane colors in the capture one, especially the D3X. Thank you, James. And you know what? I'm happy that it worked out for you, bro. I'm happy that it worked out for you because of my channel, man. People are probably cursing me out when it comes to buying used because I probably make these cameras go up in price. I wonder if these sellers watch my videos. I'm just telling the truth, man. I hopefully you got them at a good price. I've seen some really, really killer deals out there. You know, cameras and low usage. But I'm glad that my recommendation worked out for you, man, because I'd feel really terrible if, that's like you hated it and then you bought it. It's like, damn, Hagen, man, shouldn't have listened to this guy. There are no tracking issues on the 1DX3 in live view. I know, I saw that. I saw parts of your video. I played around with a D4S for a bit. I want the sound of the shutter as my ringtone since I let spam calls ring and ring. It's a satisfying sound. Yeah, that shutter sound, man. You like how I, tease all you guys with a D5 shutter? Man, that thing was like a machine gun. Indians always win. They got more history. Yeah. Yeah, right, bro. You know how many Armenians are in MMA? You don't mess with us, bro. We're pissed off. We'll mess with. Yeah, you got advantage, bro. You got a population of like 2 billion. But we're a country of 10. We're a country. I think there's like 3 million Armenians in Armenia, and like probably, I'm not sure, like 4 million around the world, the diaspora. So you get us cornered with the numbers, but hey, did you hear about this guy that was wanted in India? I thought it was you for a second. I'm just kidding, bro. I'm just messing with you. Let's see. Oh, you guys are talking amongst yourselves here. The funniest comment Amar made was when he said Nikon could you make a camera to keep the lens on? Last I heard, Canon had a history of like breaking and the mount would be stuck on. I don't know what he meant by that. Do you reckon the D50 is next on the list to be culled? Probably. I mean, that's probably the last one to go. Although that's a great, world record beating camera. It's probably the most popular DSLR, pro line DSLR that people want. Amar, do you not forget the EF 40 millimeter pancake for new setup? Yeah, there you go, Bass. What's going on, Bass? Haven't seen you in here. Welcome. Amar, you have a question there for all you Canon shooters out there asking Amar questions. I'm going to get banned for this. Funniest comment I heard was Amar said Nikon could make a camera that keeps its lens on. Oh, I already read this. Sorry. I already read this. DA50 is my favorite DSLR. I know it's not your favorite. No, it is. It's a great DSLR. I just had bad luck with it. That's all. User error. And I bought 2 and I didn't want to buy the 3rd one. I dropped them, man. Sorry. It's more than like 3 billion. 1 billion are unaccounted for. Really? Now you're joking, bro. I thought it was like 1 billion. You ever seen Great Tiger? Oops. Sorry. Hold on. Um, Greetings from Malta. Andre, how you doing, brother? How you doing? How are those bass riffs going on? Oh, we're playing the bass, man. Dong, 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 dong. Bass player Andre from Malta in the house. James, also the D780 might be the most underrated Nikon DSLR since it has phase detect, yes, AF in live view, and can shoot N-Log when hooked up to the. Yeah, never used that camera. I heard good things about it, and I heard it's the best autofocusing DSLR for video. So if you want a DSLR for video, the D780 is the one to get. Good point, James. Z Wade Vahagan, thank you for that D5 shutter sound bite yesterday. It's as effective as little blue pills to hear junkies like me. You like that, don't you, bro? I still have the 40 millimeter. Maybe I'll put it on the 1D3X for you. Yep, if my glasses. Drunk wedding photographer, Mushi Mushi. What's up, bro? What's up, David? Gear junkies. Can you give us some shutter sounds? Z Wade, you're the biggest gear junkie in the Nikon camp that I know. I don't know, man. I don't think so. I mean, Z Wade has his fair share of gear. I think Z Wade has what he uses. Actually, he cut down on his gear. I know a few other gear junkies that will blow your mind, Amar. That a lot buy gear and they don't use it, kind of like museum pieces, which there's nothing wrong with that. If you got the money, I would do the same. If you're interested in viewing several various DSLRs, I can come on for 5-10 minutes. Yeah, go for it, bro. The link is in the chat for you, Albert. The link is in the chat for anybody. Well, you probably have more Nikon gear than I do. No, I don't have that much, bro. I used to have a lot, and I cut down on the gear. There's a few pieces that I sold that I regret, but more pieces on the way for the channel and for me. You know, I gotta get with the times. I gotta at least make a review on the Z6 III because I touted that as, you know, one of the most popular mirrorless cameras to come out, and I think it's a great all-arounder. Amar, haha, not really. I'm down to 2 cameras and 4. Yeah, all the videos you see are rentals. Yeah, he rented a lot of gear, and he probably tried on every lens out there because he had a goal in mind to go out and try. And this is Z Wade I'm talking about. He had a goal to try out all the Z lenses, and I think he's almost finished it up. Yeah, there he goes. Then I'll start with Canon lenses. Is that including third party? Because you'll be done in one day. And when it comes to RF, you like that joke, Amar? Hint, hint. Canon doesn't want third parties to produce, you know, RF lenses, except for Sigma. I own and will keep my D5. Superb build quality and low. Oh my God, the build quality. Yeah, the build quality is fantastic. So I don't think I'm going to get to your comments, but there's one comment I want to highlight here real quick that I saw real quickly, guys, that really, like, I really wanted to tackle this. And this is my yesterday's DSLR dead video. There's one comment that really got me to say, I'm going to respond to this. I haven't responded to any comment here, guys, but I read them all. I think I read them all. But there's one comment that really want to read. It's probably at the end because it was kind of a negative one. Where is it? Where is that comment? Give me a second. I really want to get get to this comment. Oh, here it is. Your okay, from Rick Pinelli, 1586. Your D5 feels like a real camera? Question mark. And your Z9 does not feel like a real camera? Question mark. Nikon abandoned my F5 camera. They do not make the battery or the replacement battery tray for AA's. First, this is why the D5 feels like a real camera to me, and has nothing against the Z9. The Z9 is built so tough that I'm not saying anything about the Z9, but what I meant to say is, when you hold a D5, the weight, shutter, the shutter mechanism, the Z9 does not have a shutter. The shutter sound is fake. It just feels to me like, that's what I meant to say when I said the D5 feels like a real camera. Solid as hell. They're both solid, but the D5 is just like a machine gun. So that's great, interesting comments there by a lot of people. And I love reading them, and like I said, I read them all. Albert's gonna come on. He was on. I think he's adjusting his camera. Favorite Nikon film camera or a film camera you would go back to shooting on? I have my F3. As far as film goes, I hardly dabble with it anymore. I think that's enough for me. I think that's my favorite. That's what I started Nikon with. And then I moved on to medium format, Hassies, Mamiyas for wedding work. I used to shoot 220 medium format film. So professional shoots, events, I use the Mamiya C220 and I use the Hassi C500. But those are my favorite, and the Nikon F3. So there we go. Say hi to Albert. How you doing, Albert?
Good. How are you?
Good, brother. Nice to see you, man.
Nice to see you too.
The king of adapters.
Well, to them, the king of DSLRs.
Oh, yeah, the king of DSLRs. How's the weather out there in the east?
It's pretty good.
That's good, man. That's good, man. It's crazy, huh? What we see on YouTube.
I'm having a little problem. I think I need some headphones. Okay, so yeah, I have a lot of DSLRs that I wanted to show you guys, but
all right. Yeah. So how many bodies do you have?
I have about 8 or 10 perhaps here.
8 or 10 DSLRs. Are they all mostly Nikons?
No, every different brand you could think of.
Okay.
For example, the first one I have here is a Kodak. The last camera they made is a Nikon F mount, Kodak CCD sensor, and all Nikon glass works with this camera.
Wow. I never seen one of those, bro, to be honest.
Yeah. I also have a Fujifilm Nikon F mount camera, which also autofocuses Nikon glass. So, yeah. So I get the Fujifilm colors with Nikon glass, and I get the Kodak colors with Nikon glass, both with autofocus. Here's the, I think that's the Kodak.
The S5 Pro. I remember that camera. The S5 Pro. I used to own that camera. Based on the based on the 100 body, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's the last one that was made by them. The colors are awesome.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's also based on a Nikon body?
Yeah.
No.
This is also based on a Nikon body, the Fujifilm. This is the S5.
Yeah, that's the one I used to own. The S5 Pro.
Yeah.
Nice.
Both of them. So I get Fujifilm colors and I get Kodak colors with Nikon F glass.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. It's great that you kept them. You just didn't sell them off.
Mm-hmm. Now I got something special now. You're gonna see the transition between Hold on. You're gonna see the transition between Sony I gotta find this. What did I have so many cameras here? I don't even know where to start, man. Okay, here we
That's a
go.
good problem.
I had the transition between Konica right here, DSLR, Konica Minolta,
Wow.
okay? And then we have the Sony here. Notice they're almost identical.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, the color
What's
is
the
very different
megapixels on those
because,
cameras? What's the
yeah,
megapixels on those cameras?
I think this was about 7 or 8 or something like that. I'm not sure. I haven't used them in a while. I
Wow.
forgot, to be honest with you. I think the Sony might be at 7 or 8. But
Nice.
there's the birth of Sony right here. Okay,
Wow.
the end of Konica Minolta and the birth of Sony. The color science is completely different. The colors on the Konica Minolta are phenomenal. Yeah. Now this has pretty good color for Sony because it has the codec CCD sensor.
Uh-huh. Nice, bro. Awesome, man. Wow.
Also, I have a Pentax DSLR here, the medium format. Kodak 40 megapixel codec CCD sensor. This is a medium
Oh, the
format
Pentax.
DSLR.
Yeah. I wanted to get one of those.
This is the D. This is the older one. It's super slow, but it takes
Yeah.
awesome pictures.
Hey,
And
one sec, one sec, brother. Hey, Amar, the link is in the chat. The link is in
okay,
the chat. Here, he wants to join too. Give me a second. All right. Yeah, go for it. Sorry. Let me do this. Pentax. Nice. Which one's that, Albert?
this is the Pentax monochrome black and white DSLR. This is a monochrome camera.
Wow.
That's the
Looks
Pentax
cool.
3, the monochrome camera.
Looks very nice. How many
This is the
megapixels?
monochrome. It only takes black and white pictures, and it's awesome. I love it. It's one of my favorite cameras.
How much can you buy that camera for right now if you were to look for it?
Used maybe 1,500, 1,300.
That much, huh?
Yeah, it's a
Wait,
monochrome camera, man. It's dirt cheap when you consider that it's a monochrome camera.
Well, but that's a newer camera then.
Yes, it's a DSLR. It's one of the last
Oh,
DSLR
that's
ever
the one
made.
they came out with. This the one they came out with recently.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And here we have a Olympus DSLR, which is a different size than the Micro Four Thirds sensor. This camera is awesome. It's got a Kodak sensor.
Kodak sensor. What year is that? When did that come out?
This is old, man. This is about 6 megapixels or 7, but it's awesome. I adapt Nikon medium format glass to it in my media glass. It's outstanding.
Nice. I was thinking the same thing, Z-Way. Damn, Albert is yoked. You work out, huh, brother? You need to with all these DSLRs.
Yeah, I do. I was in the gym a little while ago.
Look at him, dude. I didn't know you were that jacked. Oh.
Yeah. And this is for more. The Canon D.
EOS 5D, the original.
The Canon 5D, man.
The original.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. I love this camera. It's one of my favorites. I would never, ever sell this. Never.
That used to be the wedding photographer's camera. That used to be the wedding photographer's camera, dream camera. Go ahead with your presentation, bro. I'm gonna email Lamar real quick.
Now, here's something funny. Here we have a TLR lens for the Mamiya 6x6 camera on a Nikon F body. Adapted. Okay. And I added aperture blades. See that? I adapted aperture blades to it. I open it, I close it, okay? And we have the Fujifilm medium format camera, the 50, with Russian glass on it here. So, you know,
Wait, that's a huge. That's the new. That's the. Which one is that? Let me see that again.
that's the Fujifilm. This is the Fujifilm right here, this one.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with the old, with Fujifilm 6.9 lenses adapted to it.
Wow.
See that? Yeah. See that thing right on the side? That's the meter.
That's awesome. What are you using for? Which Fujifilm is that?
Excuse me?
Which body is that? The Fujifilm.
This is the Fujifilm, the 50, this is the 50 megapixel, okay? And it has the Fujifilm
GFX.
6.9 glass on it. The 100 millimeter.
Wow.
Yeah, and I have the lenses for it also as well.
So let me ask you a question. Do you all these DSLRs, do you get to shoot them equally? Do you shoot them equally?
I shoot everything. I shoot everything, man. I even have the Pentax mirrorless camera, the little one, to adapt speed mount lenses to it.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Wow. Like I said, man. So what do you think of when you hear like people just slamming a DSLR online?
Well, I'll tell you I think they're being silly because it's something different. And I think it offers a different color palette. For example, I have the Konica Minolta color palette here. You can't get that in the mirrorless camera.
Yeah. Wow.
I can get that. I have the Kodak CC, I have the Kodak colors right here. You cannot get that via mirrorless camera. I can get it on DSLR and I can get it on medium format. I have the Kodak colors. And the Pentax, I have it. I also have it on a medium format, and I also have it on micro four thirds.
Nice.
You can't get that with mirrorless cameras.
So let me ask you something. With all this experience that you have using all these cameras, when you do shoot mirrorless, what is one thing that stands out for you when shooting mirrorless? Like when you shoot mirrorless.
What I like about mirrorless is the ability to shoot action, with the focus speaking.
Nice.
Because with the DSLR, it's a bit harder to shoot moving subjects because you have to wait for the dot to kind of like, hit. It's where with the mirrorless is a little bit easier with the focus speaking.
What mirrorless do you shoot, Albert? What do you
I shoot Nikon mirrorless. I shoot Fujifilm mirrorless. I also have the Fujifilm X mount cameras here. Also, I shoot everything, dude. I shoot Nikon.
Nice.
Everything.
What do you think of the new Nikon? What do you think of the Z6 III? What do you think of the Z5 II? Like these newer cameras.
I haven't tried the 5 II yet.
Did you try the Z6 III? Have you shot with the Z6 III?
I played with it for a little bit, but not enough to give you an opinion on it. Okay, but I've shot every brand. I know the colors for every brand. I know the color sign. That I can tell you.
Eric says, I'd love to see a video comparing color palettes of various cameras to be able to visualize the differences. Yeah, I did something similar with the D3X and Z, and that's my highest viewed video, Albert.
Yeah. By the way, I also have a lot of medium format cameras that I adapt lenses to. So if you ever wanted to see that one day, we could do that.
They're film and digital, or just digital? Film cameras.
I'm sorry I couldn't hear you because I'm getting double audio here.
Oh, you're getting an echo? Do you
Yeah, I
have the
got an echo.
YouTube?
I need some headphones. I forgot to bring my headphones.
Do you have the YouTube open? If you do, you could close that.
Yes, I do. I have the YouTube open.
If you close that, then you'll be able to you'll get rid of the echo.
You know what? I think perhaps it's better if you want to have me in another day. I can show you more things. I can show you adapters. I have a lot of medium format cameras, a lot of them. So
yeah, I used to shoot with. Oh, you know what? What else? My dad used to shoot with the Pentax 6x7. It was
I have the Pentax 67 here.
with the wooden handle.
I have it. I'll get it for you here.
Man, this camera brings back a lot of memories. He used to shoot that. In the studio and with the wooden handle. That was a pretty cool camera to have, the 6x7.
There you go, baby.
Here, let me do this. Oh yeah, that's it right there. The wooden handle. Man.
That's right. And I got the viewfinder.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have all the lenses for it too.
My dad had the Mamiya RB, RZ.
Yeah. And I got the Fujifilm 6x9 right here. Medium format.
Nice. Do you? I mean, you still go out and shoot with these film cameras? You still load film and
I adapt lenses to all of these cameras. I do a lot of adaptation between medium format. Yeah, I do. Sometimes I do. But I haven't done it as much as I used to.
Did the echo go away for you?
Not yet.
Not yet, huh? Did you close YouTube?
No, listen, I don't know how to do this so hard, to be honest with you.
Okay.
No.
Well, you sound fine on this end, so there's no problem on this end. Find out the best-selling Nikons over time. Here's a question, maybe. Is there any way to find out the best-selling Nikons over time history? Just wondering which Nikons have been the best seller and which have had the longest longevity in terms of production. Any idea on this question, Albert? I know that you can go to photosynthesis. I think it's photosynthesis Nikon. Just do a Google search and you can see how many of these cameras have been made with the serial numbers. But I don't think there's a way of really finding which one is, or maybe there is. So, Jim, what's up, Jim? Jim says, "Oh, you have some incredible tools."
So thank you.
God, that lens is massive. Ooh, Lord, turn off the YouTube. There we go. What's Amar? Let's say hi to Amar. 247.
Can you see me?
Yeah. See, we could hear you.
Oh boy.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Looks like there's some.
What's going on, bro?
Nice. That's probably me.
Wow. Just turn off your YouTube.
Okay, it's off.
How you doing, Amar?
Doing good, man. Just been very busy. Yeah, I know we've tried to connect in the last week and a half a few times, but either you're out shooting, I'm doing something, and then we just never got a chance to connect. So,
yeah, everything good? Everything good with work and family and
everything is good, man. Everyone's healthy, and our oldest is about to graduate from Boston University, so that's really exciting.
Nice, congrats, bro.
Yeah, we were just joking the other day when I was looking at some of these old cameras, like what Albert was showing behind me. There's a case full of it. Our oldest she was just born. I mean, like 20 some years ago, and it's like time's flown by, and now she's about to graduate college. Can you just imagine that?
Yeah, time flies, man.
It really
Time
is.
flies.
Yeah.
King, anybody's welcome on this podcast. Amar's welcome anytime. So if he wants to come on every week, just click the link.
Yeah, I was, contemplating. It's like, hey, man, if you want to talk about a lot more of the Nikon stuff, then that's cool too. I mean, I have my ZF and I love it. It's really unfortunate that most Nikonians have no idea what that camera is, never bought it. Yet with the firmware version 2.0, hats off to Nikon. I mean, everything that I don't want to say bitching at, that I think they should have put in there, they did it. They actually did it, so I love that retro camera, man. Shooting birds with a retro camera, it freaks people out. They're just not used to it. It's like, what the heck is that? And you're tracking these birds and you're shooting them.
Wait, I think I disagree with you. I think a lot of people bought the ZF.
Well, a lot of people didn't. And again,
There's so much. There's so much.
It's
There's so much camera you could buy. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, it's relative. It's a very relative thing, and that camera was made for a very specific niche of people. It wasn't made for the masses. It was made for people that really wanted that type of a camera. And so yeah, I see Wade's being funny today.
I would give Amar.
If you're up for it, I'm gonna make him an offer. If he's up for it, I'll send him my videos to edit. Just don't cut anything out, because he's doing a bang up job with that editing job. Bringing in all these little flashy things that pop up, almost like CNN going on over there. So he's doing a pretty amazing job. So
wait,
yeah,
Amar, how tall are you?
Huh?
How tall are you?
I am 6 feet 3 inches tall.
Oh, I would give him more than 161. He's about 180. Yeah, 175.
Well, you guys are all very, very generous, but I'm not. I'm not overweight by any means, but also not what you just mentioned.
So you're less than that. No, you're more than that.
No, actually, I'm slightly more.
Yeah,
but
200.
according to my total, BMI, they call it, body mass index, it's within range and it's controlled. So I'm happy with that. At being a little over 50 now, I'll take that.
That's cool, man. Albert, thanks for that presentation, man. That really, made me want to bust out my film cameras and shooting.
Yeah.
You guys know each other, right? Amar and
Yeah,
Albert.
we know each other really well. Albert comments on practically all my videos, and he's been there a long time.
You guys aren't from the same area, too, like kind of.
Really? Are you around here, Albert?
East Coast, New York.
Oh, that's not far.
Oh, we can't hear you. Can't hear you.
He has it plugged into that Fuji camera.
Oh, wait.
Right now.
Say that again. Say that again, Albert. Say that again.
I'm working on the audio right here. I'm trying to get headphones so that I have the echo.
There we go. We hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, and Jimbo, you're right. I'm still an amateur after 35 years of shooting, still learning. So looking for all of you guys that are the professional, movers and shakers to actually shake up the industry. But, last time I checked, with the amount of frames per second that we shoot, don't see too many things worth looking at nowadays, as much as we used to in the DSLR days. I mean, that's the topic here, right? So, enjoy the, no mirrors in there, no shutters in there. And I think what's going to happen pretty soon here is, once these brands like Nikon, yesterday, it was actually a sad day. As much as, you guys might think, oh, he hates Nikon. Well, I've shot probably more Nikon than most people on this live stream. All the way up to the F3. So is it a bad camera? No.
Amar with the extremes.
But you think about it, right? Seriously, a lot of people just think that. But at the end of the
I
day,
give you.
I know Jimbo is jerking my chain right now because he's always on my channel all the time commenting. And but Jimbo, that mindset actually exists, because the problem is today everyone is an expert. Everyone's an expert till you hand them a film camera and or a DSLR, and all of a sudden they're like, well, what do I do now? What do you mean, what do I do? Take a picture. And they don't know how to do it. So, because it forces you to actually become a photographer. I think someone mentioned that earlier in the live stream. So,
Yeah, you're right, Neil. I'm working on it, and I feel great. My goal is by the end of the year to be back to where I was 3 years ago. So
you should do it, Vahagan. Do it now, man, while we can, because these years are not going to come back. And not, just having more complications just show up as you start to hit 50 and over.
And not only that though, you got to watch the stress levels. Like, because stress is the number one killer, bro. Like, you could be like in shape and working out, but if you're stressed, like someone I know just had a heart attack, and he was in shape, and like he ate right, never smoked.
Yep.
So, you got to watch the stress levels too. D-Moots, I haven't talked to this guy in a while. What's up, D-Moots? What's up,
I talk to Moots quite often. Moots, you want to share sort of the excitement that you've actually had in the last week to 2 weeks? He's been on fire actually lately, and he's cooped up some great deals. Yeah, so there's a lot of great deals to be had, guys. And if you really want to learn photography and really like sort of hit that reset button, buy a DSLR. Just buy it, and learn it. Because this is a good time to buy it. Prices are still low while you can get them. And I think once the production stops, like on that D6, that was a sad day. And I say this very seriously, because the people that always, I had my 14-year-old son, and I'm going to get him on a live stream with me and him so we can start talking about some of these things, because I want you guys to hear it from a 14-year-old's perspective. When he held that Z9 and then he held that D6, he literally held that D6 and says, this right here is really the shit. I can tell. Just look at how this feels. And, to what you're talking about, Vahagan, that D5 and that Z9, there's nothing wrong with the Z9, right? They're great cameras, but it is not a D5 and a D6. It just is not. It is not built to the same level, of perfection.
Yeah, somebody commented on my video saying, what, Z9 is not a real camera? Like, what are you saying? No, I meant to say,
it is a real camera.
No. In my video, I said, it's just a real camera. I mean, like, just the reaction I get from the D5, like the clicks. Yeah. Just the fact that I love the solidness of the camera. It's a brick. It's heavy.
Yeah.
And we call it haptics on the phone, like haptics.
It's a different tool. Yeah.
Like when the phone shakes and gives you a response to when you're doing something.
Haptic feedback.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
We get the feedback from a DSLR because something is working in there.
Yeah.
And it's like,
well, I made that video, and a lot of people are like, well, when I was at the dam shooting the 20 frames per second, everyone's shooting silent. But the moment they see that eagle, as I said in my video, hey, one up on the left there, one over there, down there. Oh, that's not noise pollution, but my DSLR mirror is. Really? But that's what we do. So that's how hypocritical we have actually become. Shooting silent mode, but complaining when someone actually shoots a real camera with a real mirror in the thing. So guys, support it. If someone's shooting a DSLR, have a little bit of respect for them, because they come from a very different place, and they probably know more about photography than you do at that point. I guarantee you, if you've never shot a DSLR, you would never know. And Albert, what did you say about the 5D Classic, that piece of junk, right? You would never sell it, no matter what.
Excuse me?
You said you would never sell your 5D Classic, right? It's just because it's just a terrible camera.
Never. The black and white photos on it, just phenomenal.
Yeah. So if I'll tell you a little secret today, and I'll actually just share it openly. If you take that camera and you actually shoot it at ISO 1600 without going into the high range of 3200, right?
Familiar.
And then you overexpose intentionally by one stop, and go shoot that black and white and shoot that JPEG and take a look at that, man. And then you message me and tell me what film does that really remind you of.
I don't know what film it reminds me of, but I put on Nikon glass, the Nikon Bronica glass. Okay, I have it on the Nikon camera now. This is the 75 millimeter.
Yeah.
And I put that Canon.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's awesome. By the way, I used to shoot Canon. I started. I still have all of my Canon gear. I never saw none of it.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I'll actually show you mine. I mean, I've had mine from actually from day one. Where is the 5D Classic? This is the Mark II, I think. I'm actually looking here. Sorry. This is the 5D Mark II.
Yeah.
And
am I on B&H, bro? I would like to buy that one and that one and that one.
Yeah, so here's the 5D Classic with the grip.
Love it, man. I swear by that camera. You're not gonna sell your either, huh?
No, I don't think so. No, but I was really waiting for the R5 Mark III to actually, get me to replace it. It's a joke, bad joke. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna sell it. So
Hey, by the way, in 2 minutes, Amar, guys, do me a favor. In 2 minutes, my tint guy is coming downstairs to tint my new. We got a new car, but I'm gonna tint the windows. He's a mold guy. He comes and tints the windows. So I'm gonna walk downstairs for a sec. You guys just take over for a sec, okay?
You can see this, right, Albert?
Yeah.
So when you go into live view now on that 1DX3, look into here, it becomes it's 20 frames per second mechanical and or 20 frames per second electronic, whatever I want. And it has the same freaking autofocus crap happening with 155 cross type AF points, all happening at 20 frames per second.
That's right. I love Canon, man.
So do I need a DSLR? I don't know, maybe.
I don't like Canon. I love Canon. Okay. I love all the camera companies. Like I said, I play with everything, man.
I think they all are good, and that's what I'm saying. If someone wants to really throw away their D6, right? Just message me, because I'll buy just to put it back there.
I'm trying to get a 5D3 because I love the colors in that camera. I had it, but somebody gave me enough I couldn't refuse.
Yeah.
But I regret getting rid of it.
Well, when they went to Digic X, right, the colors changed, right? Yeah. All the way up until Digic 8, we had something. It was more like that secret sauce of Hagen you were talking about that someone mentioned. The colors were different in the DSLRs versus when they went, mirrorless with Nikon. Canon went through the same thing, right? They went through the same. And what did Sony do? Look at Sony's original offerings compared to where they are now. It's a lot better, right? So all the companies have evolved, right? As time has gone on. And it's not to say that one's better or worse. You got to find what works for you and what you like. Because if you look at the 5D Classic that he was holding up and I was showing you, that has a whole different color palette.
Yes.
It's looks like pastel colors, just like the Nikon D700. That's the only camera I can think of that comes close to it.
The sensor is just different.
Yeah.
I think the sensor, it's not overly complicated, It doesn't have all those layers. And I think those older sensors, for some reason, render 3D pop just a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think,
take over. You guys take over. I'm going to add Mr. Z-Wake to the mix.
Hey, what's happening, man?
I will be right back.
What's up, y'all?
Man, what happened to your hair? Did you lose it in the tornado?
Yeah, man, it just took it all right off, man. It was the EF5 sponsored by Nair. Come on, Marin.
Are you serious or are you kidding?
What's that?
Are you serious? You guys are having one right now, or are you kidding?
No, it definitely looked like we were going to a minute ago, but it just turned into about 2 minutes of the heaviest rain I've seen in a long time, and now it's all past. That's Kansas for you.
So King Kruk actually asked the question, Omar, what's your favorite Canon DSLR?
buddy.
Wow, that's a loaded question. Albert, what would you say it is? Well, I think you already said what yours is.
5 and the D5 III.
Yeah, mine is the 5D Mark II, actually. There's just, it's not as good as the 5D Mark III, but there was something about it, which it carried forward from the Mark I. And I don't know, it's hard to explain. It just was a more contrasty look than the more pastel look from the previous.
It's just like I said, the older you go back, the better the contrast it renders. I don't know why. I think what it is when DSLRs and cameras were moved to video,
Yeah,
a little bit of the contrast was lost, especially with low element lenses. And
I
I'm
think
not.
it's because of electronic shutter, right? So if you look at what is it called, photons to photos, right? If you look at that carefully, the same camera yields a very different dynamic range in mechanical shutter versus electronic. It just does, right? And so obviously we want speed, right? Everyone wants to go really fast without worrying about it. But now we're actually waking up into saying, okay, we got so much speed, now give me the quality back of the DSLR.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to do. You're gonna have to pay through your nose now to get that.
Exactly. That's why I shoot both. I shoot both mirrorless and DSLRs.
Yeah.
I shoot the Fujifilm. I shoot the Fujifilm mirrorless. Okay.
Yeah, that's a cool camera, man.
And I also shoot the Pentax CCD sensor camera.
Nice, yeah.
5.
Right.
So this is a 40 megapixel CCD sensor, and it renders better contrast than the Fujifilm.
And it's actually a true medium format, actually.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, 40 megapixel CCD sensor, which is
It's not a super full frame like the Fuji.
no, but it's very slow. It's
Right.
slow as a turtle, but it takes beautiful photos. Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just want to slow down to speed up, right?
Yeah, I can adapt Hasselblad H-mount glass to this.
Yeah,
I can attach Pentagon 6.
yeah,
Okay. And I could also add Bronica 6.7 lens to this as well.
yeah.
So, and I could also adapt the Pentax 6.7 to it. So I have some options with it. But the Hasselblad on this with the 40 megapixel sensor looks amazing. Amazing.
I have a question for you because I know you're a lot into those adapters. Can I adapt? How can I adapt this guy? Let me show it to you. Hold on.
All ears.
This is the 105 2.4.
What camera is that?
That's the 6.7.
Yes. I have it right here. I'm very familiar with it. I have the 6.7 right here, baby.
Yeah. So, how do you adapt this guy? I know I used to have an adapter for my 5DSR to be able to put this on.
You want to adapt to this particular camera, or do you want to adapt these lenses?
Either to the ZF or the R5 Mark II is what I want to really adapt.
Plenty of adapters. You can adapt Pentax 6.7 lenses to Nikon. You could also adapt them to the DSLRs as well, with both Canon and Nikon. Whether it's mirrorless, whether it's DSLR, you can adapt both. And
so I had one of my subscribers build this for me. Look at the bottom of it. It's actually 3D printed.
Okay. All right. Yeah, they have these. Yeah, you could buy them 3D printed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have about 6 lenses for this camera system with me. So I have all the lenses with me. And you know what I adapt to this? I adapt the Fujifilm 6.8 medium format lenses to them.
Ah, okay.
Really weird stuff.
That's really cool, man. Still have the original caps.
Yeah. And you know what I adapt to them as well? You see this here? This is a projection lens. Okay. You see that? And I have aperture blades on them. Okay.
Oh shoot! So you can actually control it.
I can control the aperture. You see that? Look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could literally leave the lens wide open and control it through this.
Exactly. I could shoot at f8. This is a Rolly medium format projector lens.
That's really slick, man.
Yeah, and I have aperture blades because these type of lenses do not come with aperture blades.
So
I got
yeah, you remember in the day, I think Nikon even had a series, and a Canon had one. It was called EX or something lenses that were made for M39 mount. And they had no aperture blades in them, so they would just stay wide open. So something like this in front of it, you could actually close it down now.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I have a TLR Mamiya lens, the 135 millimeter in the Nikon body, and I also adapted aperture as well.
That is so cool, man.
Here, watch. I'll show it to you.
Guys, if you guys are in the Nikon camp, this guy is actually a gem, man, on what he's got.
You can do this with the Nikon. You see that? That is a TLR. That is for the Mamiya 135 TLR lens. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the 135, and as you can see, I adapted aperture blades.
That is so cool.
Yeah, and I have it on the Nikon body. I could put it on the Canon body. This is a DSLR.
No problem. Yeah, that's so cool.
You never seen that?
Hey, Z, wait, what are you shooting nowadays? Did he leave? Is he here? I can't tell.
And we have this now on the Nikon body, the projection lens, the Rolly projection.
Yeah.
I can put it on Nikon, and I can put it on Canon bodies, DSLRs, and it's mirrorless cameras as well. But the DSLRs have an advantage that it's a lot shorter with the flange distance, so you don't get as much camera shake, and it's a little heavier. If this was a mirrorless camera, this would stick out about another 5 inches.
Yeah. That's so cool, man. King Kruk, let me answer King Kruk's question. So, favorite Nikon DSLR, two of them, either the DF or the Nikon D6. Those would be the two ultimate. And the reason, and obviously the Nikon F6 was an SLR, incredible machine. So he might actually have an F6. I think he's going to get it.
What's up, man? Thanks for holding the fork down for me, guys.
What's happening, man? He showed us some really cool stuff.
Yeah, I bet, man.
Did you go to get the F6?
Who?
Albert, did you get the F6?
I don't hear the echo no more.
Ah, okay. Yes.
We're good. Like I said, I adapt a lot of medium format to medium format, which is very rare. Not a lot of people do that because there's no adapters for such a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I also adapt to DSLRs, pretty much everything, projecting lenses and format lenses. So yeah, like I said, so I do a lot of weird things. So
yep.
Shot all the brand.
No end to it, man. There is no end to this stuff.
No, there is no end to it.
But
hey,
the best point I'll make here, Wahagan, that I think even the Nikon fan club should actually know is you guys have over 125 million, right, F-mount lenses that are available. And Canon has over 250 million. So regardless of what the RF and the Z mounts do, who cares? You got more lenses than you can ever imagine that were made. Go out there, grab them, go out there and shoot, and stop worrying about all this, mumbo jumbo. Because these companies, all they're doing is they want to get you to throw really good gear away, like I've been saying, so they can get you to buy a new camera. Because if they don't stay relevant anymore. But the question is, it's your money, it's your wallet. If you want to continue to drain it, I wasn't kidding, dude. It's almost like 50 grand worth of stuff right here. And I keep asking myself every day, what did we achieve in the last 10 years? What did we really achieve? Do we have better photographers today? I don't think so.
No.
So what did we really achieve with all this automation? Because now when you actually sit behind something like an R5 Mark II, you don't have to be a genius, dude. You just point in that direction. If it hits something in that viewfinder, it's done. It's nailed. And you can't sit there and say, "Oh, I got this shot." No, you didn't. You didn't do anything. You just hit the button, and that camera did all the work. It's amazing.
I think you answered. I think you answered King's question. This one, but did you do this one, Amar? What's your favorite Canon DSLR?
Yeah, we did that one already. Yeah. The
Hey,
5D Mark II.
I missed Z Wade. If you want to come back, Z Wade, I'll add you again.
Come back,
I know
Z.
he was on.
He was walking around, then he just I think he just went away.
Okay. Wow, I haven't seen you in a while, Matthew. Face it, take the What's up, Matthew Card? Man, we got all these East Coasters: Matthew, Amar, Albert.
Well, I think you
Hank
need to
in the
bring your
house.
rock and roll scene to the East Coast, man. You just need to move.
Yeah, nah, I like the West. Hank Donardo, what's up, brother? Hagen, you hit the mark. We hit the mark. All we achieved is a hybrid that can shoot high resolution images and an 8K video at the same time. Yeah, I mean, they're all great tools. They're all great tools. So, no, I really like. You got some really nice traction on your one DX Mark III video, right?
There were a lot of people that interacted with it. That's correct. Yeah.
10,000 views on that sucker.
Well, it's going to continue to grow because I think people think about it, right? If you're getting that kind of traction, what is that telling you? Are people really happy with their mirrorless? If they were, they wouldn't be commenting. And go read
Champagne
those comments.
Sumo. You know where to send that thing.
What's your case on 300?
I only dropped 3 times.
He's like, don't come to Orlando, too many tourists.
And it still works probably, right, Champagne?
That's funny.
Yeah, stay safe, guys. D-Moon and Z-Wade, stay safe. Anybody hit with that tornado going on? Right
Is
there.
it really like going through there right now? Well, I'm on my phone. I can't tell. I have to look on the computer.
Yeah.
Oh, tornado. Is that in Kansas or where is it happening?
Yeah, right around there. It's going to be another Wizard of Oz type deal. The tornado.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right, man. Look at this. Wow.
Anybody that I know Matthew Card is a big fan of DSLR.
Uh-huh.
And he has his DSLRs too. Like I said, guys, I like both. I'm not one of those guys that say forget the new technology. No. They're different tools for different applications.
Yeah.
I mean, video, you can't, especially on a Nikon, you can't do video on a DSLR. So, except for the maybe D780, I think that thing does good video, autofocus wise.
That was one of their last ones, right? That D780.
Yeah, it's with the new, I think the new autofocus system.
Got it.
You could, I mean, there's affordable mirrorless cameras, Matthew.
None that are worth a damn. I mean, I'm sorry, not as good as the DSLR. That's what he meant.
I have to disagree with you.
I'm just messing.
Okay, everybody
Matthew,
says, man,
you
I
can
like
get
both.
the Z50 Mark II, man. Come on. You can buy that one, and that's going to solve all your problems.
I tried photography with red cameras. It's actually fun, but they are pretty heavy. Photography with red cameras.
That's interesting. That would be pretty cool. That's like doing photography with the 1DC like I do. I would love to see those shots.
Yeah. Or Z8.
All right, so there you go, Hagen. He wants a Z8 is what he wants. That's why.
You can buy it used, brother. I seen him go for 3,000.
I don't know. Z-Wade told me the Z52 had the same autofocus as the Z8, so you could save a lot of money.
Yeah. No, I understand, man. But How do you
Hey,
liking your
what's
ZF?
going on with your lighting, Wahagan? I like it. That lighting. We need to talk about that a little bit. I need to not in this, but the other location where I did my previous one that you liked. I wanna do something like that behind. That looks cool.
Well, I got this thing here. I'm gonna show you. I got this thing here, where you click on it. Hold on. GVM app.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And it brings you up this little screen here.
Yep.
And now I could adjust on my phone. I could adjust the intensity of the light.
That's
I
really
could turn it
cool.
off. I could adjust the color temperature of the light. See that?
So I have that one, but I'm talking about the one that's behind you, the one with the color.
Oh yeah, I'm using a tube light. I'll show you now.
Okay. Well, just send it to me because
Oh.
I'd like to just get one of those things. Because
Yeah,
I have
look.
the other little one, but it's not as effective.
It's one of these. Look.
Oh, okay. That's very
You
cool.
could you could change color, intensity, change color.
That's
That
really
comes
cool.
with a little stand.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. It's they're not too expensive actually. Here, let's keep it on for the side effect light.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
It's bouncing off the wall.
James Cookson is funny. He writes, going off topic. First generation digital cinema cameras got some love, and those had CCD sensors. That they're pretty much like a global shutter, correct? And could shoot 12-bit video back in 2008. That is correct. That's a true statement. Hey, Z Wade, he's back
What's
in
up,
the
y'all?
car. Are you
I'm
storm
back.
chasing?
I'm on
Are
my
you
way
chasing
back
the
to,
tornado?
No, I'm actually on my way back to work from my lunch break, but I had to bail out a second ago because I had a bit of a disaster. Somehow, the puppy managed to take a dump under her bed and then take a nap on it, and so it was,
Oh
and
boy.
so it was a big mess I had to contend with because I didn't want to. So she has this big play area, right? Like this gated play area that she actually has room to like gallivant around, and of all the room that she has, she managed to take a dump under the bed.
Wow. Wow.
It was a mess, dude. It was a mess, and so like I didn't want to go back to work without her to have like a soft spot to lay on. And so I was like scrubbing it, listening to you guys talk about cameras. I was scrubbing the dog shit.
And I
Trying
was
to get back
taking,
to work on time.
shots, man. I was taking all kinds of shots. I'm like, Z-Way said this, Z-Way said that. He's like, I didn't say that.
I know, and I was like, I just need to get back on and like talking, scrubbing the shit. It was a mess, dude. It was a mess. But no, I wanted to pop it, because we're talking a lot about DSLR versus mirrorless. And if you really want to find out if you came up, if you learned anything from the DSLR era, then if you've only been shooting mirrorless for a little bit, grab yourself a DSLR and see if you don't absolutely ruin a skyline. Because like what I noticed just the other day, it's like, oh my gosh, like I don't look at the exposure meter as often as I used to. And I used to always, like literally, I would shoot like one stop under all the time, and it always turned out good. But like I kind of got like a little bit spoiled, and so I was like, thank God that I actually shot DSLRs for a long time, because whenever I get into like certain skylines that the clouds are cool, but they could just be absolutely blown out easily. It's like if you're just on a mirrorless, you might trust that screen, but nothing, and I mean nothing, is as exact as a damned exposure meter inside the camera,
Hey, Zaid.
I think there's a lot of, the point I'm making is there's a lot of value to keeping a mirrorless around, or to keeping a DSLR around if you have one, or buying like a cheap one just to plink around with for a little while, every once in a while. There's value to that. I think that's why DSLRs will never die. That's why I titled my video like the Nikon D6 dead ? Because that's what everybody's saying. And I'm like, dude, I know tons of people that like. I know a guy that just rolled a D850 shutter and he bought another D850
Yeah.
because he wants a D850. They're not going to die. The parts are just going to get harder to find.
Well, I don't know what NPS does, but I know what Canon does. So once they stop production, like say today they stopped the 1DX Mark III, Canon will support that product for 10 years from now to have it fixed. That's a long time. So
Yeah.
if you're so worried about, oh, I want to get parts and this and that, don't even worry about it, because just go buy it. You'll be fine. It's not a big deal.
Hey, Z-Wade the Tornado Chaser, David says, hey, Z-Wade, I got a new name for you. Zaid.
Zaid.
Matt Card says, Zaid, would you take
No,
on the
Zaid-
300 PF?
Zaid sounds like the name of somebody that thinks he can steal your girlfriend but can't.
Hey, check this out.
Zaid.
Man.
I'm Zaid.
Check this out. Check the lineup out. Hank has the X2D Hasselblad X2D, the Leica Q43, the Nikon Z and Z9, the ESR5 Mark II, 2 red photo X's, Ronin 40, Sony FX3, GFX 100S, Fuji X102S, Komodo X, RF. Wow, that's a lot of stuff.
My wallet is thin just reading that.
Is that like a rental house that he's running?
Yeah.
Nah,
He's been
I-
smuggling out of borrow lenses for years. Hey guys,
Well,
I'm gonna keep engaging in the comments, but I just pulled in back to the place that actually makes me money. God knows YouTube don't do that, but I got bills to pay, so I gotta hop off of here. But thanks for having me, Vahagan.
But I love
No
your
problem,
videos,
brother.
man. Just keep editing them. I'm gonna send you mine to edit.
All right, man. We'll
It's
catch you
really
later.
good though. Keep it up.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing, bro. Love your videos. Love your
Yeah,
videos.
he's really up this game on the editing. I just don't have the time to do it.
Yeah, Z-Wade Photo, check him out. And then Amar has a channel, Amar Tech, right?
Okay,
TikToks.
right. Yeah.
And I think Hank was trying to say, look, he has all this gear,
Yeah.
and my D850 competes with all of them. So
Well, the
That's
DA50
good.
is a hell of a camera, man. And guess what?
Yeah.
They're not cheap, Vahagan. I mean, they're not cheap right now.
I have the
Is that a D850?
no, it's a DA10. Still good.
You're gonna love this, Albert. I actually CLA'd the F1N, the entire thing myself.
What is that?
That's the F1N.
Oh yeah.
So I ended up CLAing the whole thing.
To know that this one.
Oh yeah, you have the Olympic version. Yeah.
And I have the Mount Black bill. Good condition.
That's great, man. You need to send me all these links to these adapters. I'm gonna buy them all.
did you see that Olympics cap on? Can I see that again?
Yeah.
That Olympics cap?
That's 1984 Olympics edition is what he has in his hand.
Yeah, that's the Olympic lens caps. I have them.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, sir.
My brother had 1984 Olympics Cokes. He saved them.
I have all the caps.
And guess what I scored, Albert, the other day from Japan? Look at this. This is the original wastefinder with the gel pack inside
Wow.
for the F1N.
Wow.
Yeah. Got it from Tokyo Camera. I had it sent all the way from Japan. Because guess what? They're not going to make anything like this again.
No, they're not.
So got pretty lucky, pretty excited.
Yeah, I like using different ways. I like having more than one finder. Like for example, this is and I have this. Ready? And
Yeah.
the Hasselblad, there's people used to waste level finder on the Hasselblad, but I have the eye finder also. So this is the Hasselblad, right? So I have on it, and I have the race level, and it meters as well.
Yeah.
Having multiple possible viewpoints.
Nice.
Yeah. But
It says
this
the
is
Lumix
one. This is one that
S1R2.
I absolutely love, man. It's just I've used this camera so much, it's not even funny. Yeah, I get a field day out of this. Would love to get hold of a DF, the Nikon DF, if someone has one that they're dumping, but you can't get those cheap, man.
Hey, but Hagen, Nikon medium format, Veronica.
Oh, wow.
That's funny.
I have a tilt shift. That I have the
Awesome.
okay. This is
Wow.
support tilt it. I can get okay. This is the 200 millimeter Nikon glass right here. Okay, and I can tilt it.
Nice, man. That is cool.
Yeah,
That is cool. Wow.
the same
Albert,
glass
are you using
for the Veronica. It's on the Nikon F. Okay, so this glass here, camera. Flip flop.
is Albert's audio choppy?
Excuse me?
Is Albert's audio choppy? What are you using for?
Yeah,
Are you
it is.
using your
It is.
phone?
I'm just using my cell phone.
Oh, it's choppy. It's like distorted or something.
Mine before, I don't know. It just got choppy. I don't know. But my apologies for the audio.
Oh, you're good. You're good. What was I gonna say? Hank says the sensor on the Lumix S1R2 rocks.
That
What's
is
your
a hell
hey,
of a camera.
hey Omar, what's your take on this camera? The Lumix.
On that Lumix,
Yeah.
it's a hell of a camera, man. And I think it's a variant of that the new Leica stuff that they're making. Some of that I don't want to use the word goodness, but has trickled down into it. I've seen some actual images from it. If you go to like Panasonic's website and you actually download the raw files and just play with them, it's pretty damn good. The colors are beautiful, man, out of that camera. Really nice.
I love to hear your take on a bunch of things, photography.
You need my take on this firmware version 2.0. Go get one while you can. While Nikon is still making these before they shut this one down too, because I
I'm
can
gonna shut it
guarantee
down.
they're not making a ton of money on this because the way this is built.
My
For sure.
my prediction on the ZF is that they won't make a version 2. There won't be a version 2. They'll just make one.
Oh,
and
really?
that's it.
Yeah.
Would they? The camera's nearly perfect.
Yeah, it doesn't need it. I don't see. Oh, they already put Bird AF in there. I don't know what else they can put in there now.
The ZF is a almost perfect camera. I mean,
Yeah.
if not perfect.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't think you need a version 2. So
I think this would fit now. It's too big.
yep, I did. I did. I left Facebook.
Did you really just shut it off and just never went back?
Yeah, I canceled all the social medias. So anything that has to do with Mark Zuckerberg, I cancel. Yeah. So, what's the weather out there in the east today?
I thought Z Wade actually had his own studio. Did he not?
Z Wade? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he was renting out something.
So he's looking for a job now?
He's trying to be funny.
Hey guys, could I ask you guys?
What was that?
Could I ask you a question? If you guys,
Yeah, go. Go for it.
I've been considering for a while starting a YouTube channel so I can show all of these different cameras, presentations. I'm noticing that a lot of the people that attention content do very well. Does YouTube pay?
Nope. It doesn't. If you think you're gonna, you'll be lucky if you can pay for your StreamYard, just a yearly membership for some time.
So it's just for the love, pretty much.
Yes.
Because I have a lot of stuff to show. I have hundreds of lenses, man. I have a lot of stuff to show. So I have no shortage of equipment to do content with. And I just have to collect it. And it's a crime.
Yeah. So Albert, you've been on my channel for a very long time, right?
Yeah.
And you know how much stuff I have. I could do that and make videos for years to come. But the problem with all of this is no one cares, right? If you think about it, I'm being very blunt, right? When you make a video, like when Vahagan made a video, how do you do X, right, at a wedding? 300 views, no one cares, right? But if Vahagan were to change the name of that video, how do you do X with a Z9 at this location? Bam, 30,000 views.
Okay.
Right. So that's what's happening today. People are showing up for that gear rather than really wanting to learn, because they already know it all. They already are professionals.
Well,
Hey, real quick, great topic. Bird, do you have one of those earbud things you could stick on your phone? You know those. No,
I don't have that charged. That's the problem. If I had it, I should have charged it. I didn't charge it.
Okay.
Listen, I'm gonna get it because I'm ruining your stream with the bad audio.
No. It just I hear the feedback. But we're doing this for fun, brother. It's kind of hard to make money on this. Yeah, they give you some shekels at the end of the month. But you know who you should connect with, bro? Like I think send an email to Carmine. You know who Carmine is?
Carmine, yes, I know who Carmine is.
Send an email to him because he does all that older camera kind of thing going on.
But I have
just ask him YouTube.
For example, I can show you a press lens on an M42 wide-lens camera.
Yep.
Get perfect circular bokeh with this lens because it's a 6.9 lens, and you put it on the Voigtlander Brasset, which is the last M42 camera ever made.
Yeah.
Okay, and you have something special, circular bokeh at the edge of the frame. Perfect circular bokeh. If you do 6.9 lenses on DSLRs, you get perfect circle bokeh from edge to edge.
So Albert, if you don't end up opening a channel and you want some space on YouTube to be able to come and share this, I don't have a problem doing that. Maybe one day a week, I'll do it for you.
All right.
Because I've got a lot of things too, and we can actually maybe collaborate on some of the old stuff. I mean, I've got the Super Takumar 8 element, M42. I mean, those kind of things that are like legendary, pieces of glass. And I'm sure you have probably one of those there somewhere.
For example, I can show you something that has never been seen before. I can show you the Konica Omega 6x7 medium format lenses on a Nikon body. Nobody has ever seen that before. And these lenses are awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
For those of you listening to this stream, guys, you have to watch this one because Albert's showing some really cool.
Yeah, I have Konica glass. Also, this is the Konica AR mount. I have all the glasses. I have the radioactive lenses. I have so much stuff, man. Okay. I also have the for example, I have the Kawa 6 lenses also. And the cameras, and I could adapt this to bodies as well. Okay, Kawa is awesome glass. One of the most underrated implement system ever. Awesome contrast, okay? Just slightly below Astro, okay? Almost in the same neighborhood, okay? And the optics on this system are totally awesome, okay? And like I said, I have a lot of strange things that no one has ever seen that on film. Nobody has ever seen, for example, projection lenses with aperture blade. Nobody has ever seen that.
Yeah.
So how I
You know what?
does.
You do YouTube and do it for the love and the love of photography
Mhm.
and see where it goes. Just be yourself. Who cares about production value? All you got to do is just turn on your iPhone, make a video, and upload it.
I mean,
You guys,
we'll promote it. I mean, I don't have a problem promoting it because my whole thing is I just don't want to talk about it anymore because you know what? I already own all this gear. I already have it, but trying to convince people that really don't want to learn, right,
yeah,
about all of this stuff and so much of this history. I think one day there's going to be a vacuum, Albert. People that really have been down that path for the last 35, 40 years in the photographic journey, that they're going to lust for this information. Like I have Max on my channel. Once he is gone, that recipe, the darkroom recipe books of how to mix these chemicals and all that, a lot of that stuff's going to die with it. With these
exactly. Bingo, you nailed it perfectly. And I am a Bernie Feiser disciple. He was one of the greatest adapters ever, one of the greatest innovation technicians ever. And I learned from his crew.
Awesome.
So I have some knowledge that's going to die.
Yeah.
They
It will.
died
Yeah.
with knowledge. And if I die, that knowledge goes with me. For
And I
example,
think that's what makes us come back every time, Albert, because the more and more I joke around, but I'm pretty serious deep down inside. The
Yeah.
more I shoot mirrorless cameras, the more I want to go shoot my DSLR film. I
Yeah.
just do, because the more and more I'm getting removed from the photographic process, every new iteration of the camera, because it's becoming so automated in so many things. Even in manual mode, the damn thing does more than your brain can think.
It does.
You know?
And you know, I remember there was a time when you used to go to a photography club, and
Yeah.
if you in in action, put in flight. I mean,
Right.
you win the contest. You were the talk of the afternoon. Okay, you take a bird in flight now, and it's nothing. It's like what? What's the big deal?
Yep.
The thrill is gone. The thrill is gone. And a bird in flight, man, everybody would talk about it for a month. Now it's nothing. Oh yeah, nice photo. So the thrill is gone, man.
Z-Wade makes sense. And it's great advice here. The key, Albert, if you start a channel, make sure to love it enough to be consistent. The algorithm will find an audience, but it's a discouraging slog until it does.
Thank you. I appreciate that advice. It's the best advice anyone could give me. Okay. For example, here's another thing I can show you. It's Pentagon 6 optics. I have all of them. Okay. And I can adapt them to Nikon, Fujifilm, any kind of camera pretty much. Okay. So like I said, I learned a lot from the best, and I'm not sharing it, and I kind of feel guilty.
Yeah,
So,
just the only advice I can give you is just if you do it for the love of it, and your audience will find you, and you'll have a lot of fun doing it. The first step, the hardest step, is to publish your first video.
yeah.
That's the hardest step, just to publish your first one, and just do it because I do it. I don't know more, but the reason why I do it is because I like it. I like sharing what I know.
So, Vahagan, why don't we just do one
Building
thing?
an audience.
Let's do one thing for him. Why don't we actually do a live stream? Maybe do the three of us. We introduce whatever it is that you want to do, Albert, right? So then you have access to all of the people on my channel. Vahagan has, gives you access sort of to all the people on his channel. And we put it out there as a new channel coming soon, right? And it's with a different twist. It talks about different things like what you want to talk about. And then you can actually come out there and share it.
Exactly.
I'm open to doing that, Vahagan, if you're open to doing it for him. Yeah, if that makes sense. I'm perfectly cool with that.
Of course, man.
First, but I have a long way to go. But I appreciate that. Nice to know that you guys get back to such a thing.
Dude, let me tell you something, man. You know anything about me, guys? You know that I like connecting people, bringing people together from all walks of life. And if I had a bigger channel, I would do even more. I kind of wish the bigger channels would do this more often. Like maybe once a month, like a million subscriber channel would like bring somebody in and say, "Hey, check this guy out." Like he'd make him a superstar overnight. Like
Yep.
I don't know.
So guys, I'm gonna have to leave now, but I really appreciate this vibe, and I wanted to come on here and actually support it because the topic is near and dear.
Thank you, Omar. I appreciate it.
Yeah, keep DSLRs alive, Albert. Don't believe these people. They're lying when they tell you it's dead because it ain't dead.
No, it's not.
Before you leave, Amar, I just want to ask you something.
Sure.
I'm going to ask you something. And Albert, I'm going to mute you for a second because I hear myself. 1 second. Amar, since we're on the topic of YouTube, and I basically gave my reason why I do this, not because of the money. There's no money.
Yep.
Even if there was, it's like a dinner a month or something.
Yeah. Well, that's a true statement.
Anyway. Yeah. So, why do you do this? What's your biggest motivation why you do YouTube?
Yeah, that's a good one. So when I originally started the channel, it was more about sort of just being able to actually, speak with people and connect with people. Then I realized more and more and more that the more you get out there in the real world and actually shoot among other people, you learn very fast how much someone knows, and you'll be shocked. Like every time I go to Conomingo Dam, I just am at an awe, right? I just, my jaw drops. People spending $20,000-$30,000 on gear, and they have no clue to what they're doing. They have no clue, and they're stuck. And so you sit there and you actually help them. So the goal was, my real goal, Wahagan, is if I can breed 10 to 15 really good photographers that can do exposure, you just wake them up from their freaking sleep and they can do it without looking at a light meter. You got to learn in a light meter to get there first. If you can do that, those 15 can take it to another 15, another 15, and hopefully one day this will live on. Because the way the automation is going today, no one wants to buy a color meter. No one wants to buy a light meter today because they're too cool. Oh, my camera already does it. No, it doesn't. Your camera is 100% wrong when it comes to white balance. It will never be correct unless you have a color meter.
So just to help Albert out, like take us back to where Albert was thinking of starting a channel. Okay.
Yep.
Take us back to how you made your first video and why you did. Can you take us back to that day?
So yeah, it was when the 70 Mark II came out, and it was hilarious because Canon was like, "Hey, you want to try it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. We'll discount it if you actually make a video, whatever." So I said, "Fine." I said, "Dabble in the damn thing. I'll just do it." So I made a few videos in that, and that was over 10 years ago. Was it hard? It's kind of weird at first when you're talking in the camera, but it looks like, Albert, you already are a pro. You're doing a good job on the iPhone already, right? So instead of using a fancy camera, just do it on your phone, like you're doing FaceTime with someone.
I have the Nikon 662. I have equipment to do it.
But even then, put the Z6 II down. Just use your phone. Just get used to speaking on the camera for a long period of time, right? And then you can use the fancy gear, sure. But the key is not so much the gear. Like you asked me a question earlier, right, Wahagan? Well, you got a lot of traction on that DSLR video. Well, why? Because it was thought through. What is it that's bothering me for the last 5 to 10 years with this mirrorless stuff? I had to really think about it, and that's my journey. So through that journey, other people are living their journey and saying, I'm going through the same damn thing. And they connect. Mm-hmm. So Albert, whatever it is that you want to do, if you can find the problem that you're trying to solve for people, whatever that might be adapters, might be lenses, might be trying to save money buying these kind of things. Figure out what that is. Once you understand that and you stay focused, like Z Wade said, if you're consistent and you keep doing that, eventually the success will come.
Okay.
But initially it just seems kind of weird.
Yeah. Now I have another question to ask you. As you can see, I come on the Nikon channels, but as you can see, I have no brand.
I know you don't. I know you don't. And you've been on my channel for a very long time. And that's why I opened it up. I don't have a problem. You want to come to my channel and do it? Fine, come. I don't really care because a lot of people can learn from this stuff, like what you're doing.
I've shot Pentax. I've shot Canon. I've shot Nikon. I've shot Olympus.
Yeah.
I shot a lot of different things. Film also, medium format, 6x7, 6x6, 645. I shot every format. Okay,
so let's do it. Let's do this for him, Wahagan.
It's actually, Albert, it's actually better that you're all around, like you have everything. So it's actually good that you're not pigeonholed by one brand. So
and a lot of people just think, oh, he's a Canon fanboy. Really? Look in here.
I've shot every format. Every format.
Everything in here. Every brand is in here.
Yeah.
It's not a Canon fanboy. I'm just a photography fanboy.
This is the smallest format. The Pentax mirrorless right here. Look at that.
That's a really cool camera, man. Max would love to see that. That's awesome.
It's a small sensor. This is smaller than Micro Four Thirds, man. I've shot this.
Cool.
One piece of advice I could give you: don't be discouraged by the comments. Sometimes you will get like weird comments.
I don't care. I have to. I grew up in Brooklyn, Queens, New York. I've heard everything.
Oh, I know that. Yeah. I just sometimes one thing I'll share is like, one thing I'll share is like, you put like all this like time and effort into one, and then a viewer just says, "Oh, you said this wrong."
Yep.
Okay, cool. Like, it's all right. Like, or
it's okay. You're a human. You make mistakes too. It's all right. It's all
good. You gotta grow a thick skin. Some of the bigger channels don't have thick skins, actually.
Yeah, I grew up in Brooklyn, Queens, New York. I've heard everything. I've been called every name under the sun. Nothing's gonna bother me. Trust me when I tell you that.
Let's do it.
Hey, let me real quick share the story before Amar leaves. How I started my channel. I don't know if you know the story. So I did it on accident. I was messing around with the X100T camera from Fuji, and I just said, let me just mess with this. My wife went shopping. We were at the mall, and I was just sitting there on one of the benches in the aisle in the mall. And I just had the camera on the bench. I took out my iPhone and started doing some like video of the X100, some B-roll, and then I said, shit, let me upload this to a channel, YouTube, and I uploaded it. I said, okay, name I give my channel. Okay, I want to do it in a way where it says my name, but something to do with photography, because I already have a weird name. How can I do it? I go, okay, photography. How can I combine my name with that? Oh, Vahography. Okay, cool. So I uploaded this video. I didn't even think twice. I didn't even think about it. I just uploaded. All of a sudden, the next night, it had 5,000 views.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. And that's just me. Like, that's my very first video I uploaded. I'm like, let me try this again. Let me do it again and again. And then I started like building, like I'm meeting people, like all you guys. I wouldn't know who you guys are without me making a channel. So I mean,
and it's funny you say that because you tricked me. Because I thought originally I am among your first followers. I'm among the first 200 to 300. Okay. You tricked me because I thought you shot Nikon and Fujifilm. Because the third or fourth video you did was on a Fujifilm camera.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it was. Am I wrong? Am I right or wrong?
Which one?
I think it was the H2 you did.
Yeah. No, the XH1.
The H1, yeah, the original H1, you did that.
Yeah.
So when I saw your channel, I thought you were both a Nikon and Fujifilm shooter. So you tricked me. That's why I subscribed to your channel. I like this dude. He shoots Nikon and Fujifilm. That's right up my alley.
Actually, I always
then you were Nikon shooter.
No. don't get it wrong. I mean, I shoot Nikon professionally, but I shoot all cameras. Like I like use Fuji, Nikon. I used to own Canon. I used to shoot Sony. Like I just use Nikon right now, but I did Fuji. I love shooting Fuji.
Hagen.
Nothing wrong.
I need to drop. You guys continue, but thank you again.
Thank you, Amar, for the advice. And thanks for the offer.
Absolutely, man. Anytime. Just
Bro. Anytime, bro.
Message me, email me, and same thing with Hagen. I don't have any problems, man. Yeah.
Amar, thanks for coming on.
Oh, absolutely, man. I would support this topic. This topic was good. So
Amar Tech,
passionate one.
check him out on YouTube.
Yeah. Getting back to your word, you won me over when you started bragging about the 180. You started bragging about the Nikon 180, how great it is, and how fantastic it is, and how different it is. And I just saw the passion that you had for that, and I could feel it, man. It came right through the screen, dude. It was not phony, and you feel that when somebody's passionate about something, you feel that. I felt that same passion that you have for that lens. I had it as well. I said, you know what, I gotta subscribe to this. So
Thanks, man.
That's how you got me.
You know what, man? Like a lot of people, they think of lenses and they think of just sharpness. I don't think it's just
you think of sharpness. And you said this is not about sharpness.
That 180 millimeter is not the sharpest lens wide open, but it has this look like it's really close to like a 200 f2 in my opinion. And for a couple $100, I mean, and the size and weight, it's nothing.
It's light. Let me tell you, that was the go-to lens for fashion photographers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great lens, man. Great lens.
Yeah, great lens because it's lightweight. Even street photographers use that lens. When they didn't want to get beat up, during the 90s, when the whole crack epidemic came out and things started going wild, people started using that lens because they didn't want to use the 50. They didn't want to get close to people. So,
yeah.
in Manhattan, I remember a lot of photographers went to that particular lens just so they could have some space between them and the subjects. Okay.
No,
and the thing about that lens is that people misinterpret about the lens is that they see the focal length of 180 and they immediately think that it's a wildlife lens or a sports action lens. And that is not the case. And that lens has gotten a lot of bad reviews because people think it's for action and birding, and it's not.
No.
It's not. It's a fashion lens. Okay?
Yeah.
Nothing,
I like
that's what it's for.
I like the built-in hood. I like that built-in hood. It's built well, man. Nothing wrong.
Another lens that's quite similar is the 58. The Nikon 58. It's the same way. It's not sharp. Okay. All right. It's not overly sharp, but it has that look. It has that contrast. It has that 3D pop. Okay. And people just don't know how to grade lenses, in my opinion. Okay. There's a lot of people that if you're grading a lens simply on sharpness alone, you don't know what you're doing. You don't. Because some lenses are designed not to be sharp. Okay. And the fact that every camera manufacturer has designed a soft focus lens at one point or another proves that. Yeah. Every company at one point or another has designed, the medium format companies, no matter the format, everybody has a soft focus lens. It's not all about sharpness. Okay? It's not all about sharpness.
Yeah. You're right, man. Just be yourself when you start a channel. Don't try to be like anybody else. And
no, I'm not. I would never do that.
Have fun.
I would never claim to know everything either. I would never claim to know everything because I never consider myself the best at anything or the wisest at everything, because once you think you know everything and you think you're a master, you stop learning. Forever a student. I'll be a student to the day I die, because the day I stop being a student is the day I stop learning. It's that simple. And you have too many people that think they know everything, and they think they have the answer to every question in every lens. Okay? No, you don't know everything. You never shot. I've shot every format, and I still have a lot to learn. Okay? I'm still learning. To this day, I'm still learning. Every week I learn something.
I always tell people, like, I'm not the technical photographer that you want, like a Gerald Undone. I'm not like that. I just like to shoot. Give me a camera and I know what to do. I like lighting. I'm more of like an art kind of guy, that happens to dabble with technology and knows enough. But if you're looking for like lab tests with a lens and charts and all this stuff, I'm not the channel.
No,
I'll take it out. I'll take it out with the port with bride or model, and you just see pictures, images. I'm more of like the emotional side of gear. How it makes
Yeah.
you feel. Like when I held the D5 the other day, I was like, "Damn, this is a real camera." I really got emotional because it felt solid, and heavy, and I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
But
I don't
sometimes
like lighting.
you like it because back in the day when they didn't have image stabilization, that heavier lens kept you from shaking that camera. See, that's one thing these guys don't understand today. A lot of these younger guys, they don't understand that heavier lens gave you sharper images because you shook it less. It's less
Yeah.
camera shake.
The weight
Okay,
helps
so
you, yeah.
that's why it feels good to you. Psychologically, you feel safe with it. Okay,
Exactly.
feel safe with it.
Matthew's a fellow New Yorker. You guys are
Yeah.
both from New York.
Yeah, but you know what I noticed, that the best photographers are not the guys that are technically sound. It's not the guys that do the best lighting. But the lighting is important. Don't get me wrong; that's crucial. I didn't mean to say that, but the people that do the best work is the way you interact with your subject. Okay, if the whole thing when you're photographing, especially if you're a wedding photographer and a portrait photographer, you have to make people around you feel comfortable. Okay.
Yep.
You have to smile. You have to joke. You have to make people relax around you. Okay. And if you can make people feel comfortable around you, you're going to be a great photographer because you're going to get the best out of that person. You're going to get the best smile. You're not going to have a tense face. Okay. And that's the one thing I learned. Whenever I'm photographing a person, I become a complete clown. I'm joking,
Yeah.
I'm joking with the models. I used to joke with the models. I joke with the makeup people. I crack jokes. I play music, and that will help you more, than being an expert at everything, in my opinion.
Exactly. The whole saying is a shot in between that are the magic shot. You know what I mean? The shots in between, the joking, the breaking the ice, and
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good piece of advice, Albert. Audio quality when you're making videos is more important than video quality. So make sure
Yes.
you have like a really good sounding
I'm not
setup.
killing you with the audio quality.
Yeah. No. That's a really good piece of advice.
That's what I want. Okay. Don't be nasty to the staff around you, to the maitre d's, to the waiters when you're doing weddings. I used to work as a secondary shooter as a photographer, so I know this. And I worked with bad photographers, and I worked with successful photographers. And the better photographers were the people that interacted with people, the ones that had the good personality. They could pull out the great expression out of the couple. Because the couple felt comfortable around the photographer. Okay, when you're being an ass around people, the groom is going to look scared, the bride's going to look scared, the bridesmaids are going to be terrified. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to have a look of horror in their face. If you're
Hey,
going
Albert,
around
I don't know this. I don't know one thing about you. Do you shoot for a living? Do you shoot for? Are you like a pro?
Here's the thing. I started in photography I like photography. I started as a helper. I used to shoot fashion shows. Okay. I used to shoot fashion shows all the time, and I made good money doing it. I used to do it in the middle of the week. There's a lot of fashion shows in New York, but the cell phones came in, and that killed that business. Because by the time I went home and took the photos and unloaded it on my computer, there were about 30 photos somebody took on a cell phone already on Facebook. And they dropped the pay. I used to get like $300, $250, $400, $500, and then that became $150, $100, and I said, "The hell with this! I'm done." So I became a victim of something. I was among the first people that became a victim to the cell phone.
And now it's just strictly a hobby for you now?
Yeah, and then I got into adapting, and then I started doing a lot of work for other photographers. I was always doing the adapting thing on the side, and I would do a lot of adaptations during the DSLR days, because during the DSLR days, there were not a lot of, there were no mirrorless cameras. And I knew the flange distance between all of the camera companies, and I knew what lens would work on this body. I knew what would work with which. I used to do all kinds of crazy adapters. I used to adapt a lot of things, okay? Because what happened is especially when Nikon came out with the D800 series, a lot of photographers shifted over from medium format to the D800, to the original D800. And they wanted to bring that look into the full frame. And what I did was I adapted a lot of medium format lenses onto the Nikon bodies, into the Canon bodies, when the megapixel count went up on DSLRs. So I was doing pretty well with that. I have a business that I still have in photography. I have a photography business, okay, to this day. And I did a lot of adaptations. I was like a bridge for a lot of people between medium format and high megapixel DSLRs, because they got to keep their lenses, okay? They got to keep the color palette, okay?
Yeah.
Lenses have color palettes, okay? So that's why I have all of these different DSLRs, the Konica, the Canon, so that I know how the colors are gonna work and what I can recommend to somebody, what lenses will work best if you want, okay, a lot of people don't want cat's eye bokeh on a shot, at the edge of the glass. The medium format camera, you use a 6x9 camera on a full frame camera, you're gonna get rid of all of that because you're using the circle, the center cut of the lens, okay? And you're also getting rid of all the lateral ceramic aberrations at the edge of the glass, okay? Which is hard to get rid of, okay? So that would get rid of a lot of the old defects with ceramic aberrations, because I always got the center cut of a 6x8, 6x7, 6x9 glass, and I would get great contrast without all of the ceramic aberrations and all of the defects, okay? So it's the only way that photographers could overcome all of the defects that the 35 milliliter lenses had, okay? And when you're printing, when you're printing a large paper, you don't want that there. You don't want the ceramic aberration at the edge of the glass. You don't want that softness at the edge of the glass. So by doing 6x9, 6x7 lenses on 35 millimeter bodies, okay, I also did a lot to the Hasselblad medium format bodies also, okay, all right, and the Pentax also medium format bodies. I did a lot to the 645 also, so that's what I did. I was like the gateway between film medium format to digital medium format, okay, and I would bring in the old school lenses into the new school. So that's what I did. That's my specialty, okay.
So you work with you work with people, other photographers and productions?
I work with a lot of pro photographers, and I learned from the best. I learned from the Marty Pfizer crew. Okay, I used to work with them. Okay, I was a helper. I was assistant with them. Okay, and those guys they knew every trick in the trade. They had all the information. I could get information that other people could not get. For example, before it was listed online, I knew the flange distances between all of the cameras, so I could do the math myself and know whether something would work or not. Okay. Cool, yeah.
Got a question for you. If I'm using a cheap adapter on my one of my cameras I'm adapting to,
yes,
and I'm getting a lot of CA, chromatic aberration, wide open. I remember you telling me something about tape inside?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I think what happens is it's the paint inside. The paint that they use is, when you buy adapters, especially from China, what they use is they use generic paint. Okay, generic paint has gloss, it has shine. It's not dark. It has reflection. It has reflective coating. Even though it's black, there's a reflective coating there. Okay, when the light hits that reflective coating, it creates ceramic aberrations. Okay, all right. If you notice, when you look at the interior cameras and you look at the old Hasselblad lenses and you look at the black paint inside, it's a flat surface without reflection. Okay, so what you need to do is repaint that adapter, the inner part of it. Okay, you can use black 2.0. You can use non-reflective black paint also as well. okay, and that would improve the performance of it. Okay.
How about
So, matter,
how about non-reflective tape?
excuse me.
How about non-reflective tape? You know that dull tape, the black.
That may work slightly better, but it's still going to bring a little bit of it. Okay. What I do is I go to Home Depot and I bought the black paint. And what I did was I told the guy, add 5 extra drops of black in there. Okay. Into it to darken it even more and more and more. And then what I did was I added 2.0 black paint. Okay. I mixed it both together and I get it in there and I get rid of all of that. Okay, let me just look around. Let me stand up for a second. I might have the paint somewhere around here. Okay, all right.
Sure.
Let me just look.
Sure.
Just corner.
Sure. Yeah, guys. Wow, this was a great live stream. I love having guests on. I love talking to other people and my friends and from all over the globe. It's great. So here we go. Let's bring.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you see it again?
Yeah.
Oh.
Black 2.0. Okay, you could buy this at Amazon. Okay, it has non-reflective black paint. However, you cannot get this wet. Okay, do not get the adapter wet. Whatever you do. Okay, you paint the inside of the adapter. Okay, flat black paint. Okay, because that generic paint from China is going to cause ceramic aberrations. You see, this is why I can help people with things like this.
Okay? Yeah, but wait,
now,
you have to take it apart. Do you have to take it apart and
no,
maybe, or what about the contact?
You don't have to take the adapter apart. You could grab a Q-tip and just brush the paint, rub the paint against the adapter, the inside of the adapter. Okay,
Got it, yeah.
I'll give an example of it. Hold on, let me get an adapter for you.
Hi guys, some awesome information. We're talking about adapting.
You see, look, this is an 58 millimeter extension. So what you do is you take the inner part right here, you paint the inner part.
Okay.
Do not paint the outer layers, okay, because that's going to tighten the camera. Just paint the inner layer of the adapter, okay, all right?
Yeah.
Paint it, let it dry for a couple of days, okay, and then you use it in your camera, okay? It's that simple. And you get rid of that reflective paint. Once you get rid of that reflective paint, you get rid of most of the ceramic aberration.
Yeah. Awesome, man. That's awesome info, man. Thanks a lot, man.
Okay? Because the people that do cheap adapters, they're going to do it to sell it for $10, $14. They're not going to put baked on paint. They're not going to bake paint on there. They're not going to put a baked on finish like a Hasselblad has, like a Leica has. Okay?
Of course. Yeah, I spent $20 on last. I didn't want to spend the $180 that the original cost.
Well, that's the difference between a pro adapter and a generic adapter. Look at your most expensive adapters and look at the paint inside. If anybody has adapters right now, get your most expensive adapter and get your cheapest adapter. And you're going to see that your most expensive adapter has non-reflective paint in it, and your cheap adapter has reflective paint in it. That's why people get ceramic aberrations with their DOP lenses. Okay. Also, another thing is if you want less ceramic aberrations, use DSLRs instead of mirrorless cameras. Because the DSLRs adapters for mirrorless, I use DSLRs for medium format cameras. Okay, and I get 0 ceramic aberration on it. Because number one, the flange distance is shorter. So the adapter, for example, if this was a mirrorless adapter, it'd be about 3 times as long. Okay, I'll give you an example of what I mean. Let me get you an adapter.
Hey guys, smash that like button if you're enjoying yourself. Hit that like button, and every Thursday, 9 a.m. Bokehs. I had a great time today with live stream, and this is a lot of information, you guys, and learning something every day. I just bought an adapter, and I adapted my V1 to f-mount lens, and I noticed ceramic aberration. Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you. All right, let's say I just give you an example. These are 2 adapters for the same lens, right? The DSLR adapter will look like this. Okay, you see the length of it? Very narrow, and the mirrorless adapter is going to be much longer. Okay, because you're going from let's say 45 millimeter flange distance to 16 millimeter flange distance, so the adapter is shorter. Okay, the Nikon F mount is around, so you have some around between, most DSLRs are between 43 to 50 in flange distance, and most mirrorless go between 16 to 34. So that's why the mirrorless adapter is always going to be longer, always.
Yeah.
And the longer the adapter is, the more room you have for ceramic aberrations.
Yep.
Okay. That's why when you buy mirrorless cameras, it's always important to buy a pro adapter because there's a lot of space right there for light to travel through. Okay, a lot of space. So there you go. Today. As opposed to DSLR, the distance is much shorter, much less room for error. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Is that hard to understand? Or was
Nah,
right?
I learn something with you every day, man. I love it.
Yeah. See, this is the Pentax 6.7 right here. Okay. See how long it is? Okay. And here's the other one right here for the F mount. You see, look at, come on, it's not even close, dude. There's no room for error here. You see that? Whereas here, you have a lot of room for error here. Okay, but this is a pro adapter, so you can see it has no reflective paint in it. Okay, and if you get a cheap one, paint the inner part of it. Okay, with no reflective paint. There you go.
Yeah, the new, as far as new stuff goes, that 50 to 150 Sony, I want to adapt that thing to a Z mount.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard nothing but good things about that Sony adapter.
Those adapters are pro. They're good. They're not going to cause problems. And besides, the distance between the Sony adapter and the Nikon adapter is very short. It almost feels native. Yeah. So that's not going to be a problem at all. It's going to feel, that's about as native as it'll feel. When you put a Sony glass on the Nikon Z mount, it doesn't feel like it's adapted at all.
Anybody that uses like Sony lenses on Z mount cameras, they're nothing but good things. Yeah.
It feels native. It doesn't even feel like it's adapted at all. I tried it. My friends have it.
Yeah. I
tried it. If you couldn't tell it was adapted. If you just grabbed the camera really quick, you would think it was a native lens. Homa can testify to that.
Yeah, the 50 to 150 f2, man. 3,000 lens, but I think it's a monster.
Yeah. Also, now they have adapters where you can use the Fujifilm X mount lenses on the Nikon Z mount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. All right, well, Albert, I got to run. I have the tint guy.
Thank you for having me. And I'm sorry for the bad audio. Albert.
No, you're good, man. You're good. Thanks a lot for your coming on and having fun and his Bokehs. Everybody, I want to thank everybody in the chat as well for contributing, making this thing what it is. Albert, again, thanks. Good luck with whatever you decide to do with YouTube. We're here to help. You know that anytime. And,
thank you.
You can contact me anytime or on. We'll help you. We'll promote it and we'll get you going on your YouTube journey, man. There's a lot of us out here that we're your friends, man. We're photography friends. We want nothing but good things, So
thank you.
All right, Albert. Everybody in the chat, thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. This was Focus Bokehs episode number 10, live stream / podcast. You can stream it on YouTube Music or watch it on YouTube. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks a lot. This is Vahography. I'm Vahagan, your rugged photographer. We'll see you soon. Thanks.